You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, LOOTdummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party adventures across the lands. Talik Grog, half-orc fighter-sorcerer from the wretched valleys of Mek'Zim, played by Taylor. Alirlock Bloodhair, Harengon cleric, whose fate seems determined by luck itself, played by Joey. Pomerel the Gatekeeper, Summer Eladrin paladin from the Feywild city of Solaria, played by Seth. And Bodyknock Greenleaf, the halfling rogue with a penchant for taking things that don't belong to him, played by Josh. And last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. And welcome back, everyone, to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, the podcast.
I'm gonna pretty much delay as much as possible, so we might as well get started.
To avoid doing a recap.
I think he means to avoid delay killing me.
To avoid the drama of...
Both of these things are true.
I can't even imagine what your notes look like, because I was just like hanging on by the seat of my pants and I wasn't taking notes until afterwards. We finished and I sat here for like 30 minutes writing shit down.
Yes, it was intense at the end, back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, I have been reviewing my notes for 15 minutes and I still don't know how I'm gonna.
Well, I'm nervous and excited to see what happens to Talik. We're gonna find out, I'm assuming tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to have some resolution, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Okay, this is just going to be the previous session. So in the previous session, we retreat and regroup as Pomerel wants to go set up his tent and rest. Talik tries to throw the longsword of Peled Light into the moat but fails. There's some back and forth going on, and Pomerel and Alirlock try to bolster their friend, and Talik winds up turning over his ring of mind shielding to Alirlock and requests that if anything is to happen to him in this adventure with the sword, to give it to the kobolds.
The chief kobold, what is his name?
But Talik is still unable to throw the sword into the pit. Pomerel used command and commands Talik to drop the sword. As soon as Talik drops the sword, Pomerel kicks it into the moat. Pomerel then grapples Talik, and Alirlock casts Dominate Person with a 25 DC as Bodyknock ties Talik up. Alirlock makes Talik mount Revenge, and they run away. Pomerel stays behind for just a moment and tries to throw a guiding bolt at the longsword of Peled Light. Nothing really happens as Pomerel, Bodyknock, and Jeffrey begin to chase behind Alirlock, Talik, and Revenge. Talik dismounts Revenge as Pomerel and Bodyknock and Jeffrey come up behind the trio. Pomerel attempts and fails miserably at subduing Talik, so Alirlock polymorphs Talik into a snail. The group spends the next hour given by the polymorph discussing what we should do, and Bodyknock says we can break the curse by destroying the sword. As we are working on a solution but coming up with only things that have slim chance of success, Alirlock seeks divine intervention from his deity with a 10% chance of success. We can only assume that Alirlock fails based on the behaviors and activities and events that follow.
Yeah, I can lift the bill now. Yeah, he did fail. Not by much, though. It was like in the teens. I want to say it was like 19.
Talik comes out of the polymorph and immediately tries to flee, but Pomerel is able to grab him. Alirlock attempts to cast Inflict Wounds, but fails as Bodyknock binds his hand and Pomerel drags him over to a tree. Talik flips shit and continues to struggle to get loose. He breaks the rope that having his hands tied up, but Pomerel contains him. As Alirlock attempts to inflict wounds and does 24 damage, Bodyknock finally successfully restrains him to the tree at a 25 DC. At which point, Pomerel just starts swinging the blunt end of his sword against the side of Talik's head, attempting to render him unconscious. At this point, Talik is tied to the tree, fighting violently to get loose as his party pummels him into submission. Body Knock puts coins in a sock and wails at him successfully.
yeah.
It goes on in this tragic way for some time, with Pomerel pleading with the party for a solution, as Learlock implies death may be the only solution. Eventually, Talik is rendered DBNO by his friends.
And that's where we called it. My gosh. Okay, so now that we're here, the very first thing we need to do is I need Taylor to roll a d4 for how long he's unconscious for. Just standard unconscious rule. You get knocked unconscious. Because y'all knocked him out with non-lethal, so he's not like making death rolls. He's just unconscious for roll the 2 for 2 hours. So y'all know that he's going to be unconscious for a while. So y'all got some time to think things over and talk things out at this point. So floor is y'all's.
Pomerel's just exhausted at this point and is looking at Learlock, and he's like, well, what are we about to do here?
Well, I personally mostly spent. There's only one real solution that I can think of.
Okay, what's the solution?
I think we've all lost some of our comrades in our journeys at some point, maybe. Some more than others. I don't think that I, by my hand, have ever taken the life of one of my own.
You want to roll him into the moat? No, I mean, it's, push him a little bit.
Do you think he'll just climb back out with the sword?
Good point. That's a good point.
Should we just cut his head off and be done with it?
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
That's taking it to an extreme, I think.
Oh, okay. Glad to hear you say that. I was worried.
We just need to ease his spirit by removing it from his body.
Oh, is that all? Is that something that you commonly do here in the material plane?
One could say that.
Oh,
Just take your pointy sword there and takes care of the job. I can bring it back. If his spirit chooses to come back, potentially.
well, as could I, if I was not so spent. I've used most everything that I have in me to keep us alive up to this point, but I think bringing someone back right now for me might be out of the question. But if you say you can do it, then I trust in you.
This is my last effort that I can make today.
Body Knock, you've known him longer than either of us. Do you think it is worth ending his current path of life and giving his spirit the choice to remain here or continue his journey?
I think we should give this guy a shot, because all I can contribute is beating him again with a coin sock. I don't think any of us want that.
No, that is an activity as brutal as my life has been. I've never experienced something quite so tragic.
Are you referring to the sock beating or killing a comrade?
The sock beating.
Okay.
Pomerel, with little ceremony, gets down on his knees. He holds the flat end of his blade on the top of his left forearm, and he grasps the hilt of his sword with his right hand, and he gently presses it through Talik's chest.
Right into his heart.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch scenes a little bit here. As that sword presses in, Talik's body doesn't respond in much of a way other than blood bubbling up over it and his body going much more limp as his breathing ceases. And we see Talik in a small clearing of a muddy little hollow with trees and small hills all around. It's very grassy and muddy. The trees are old and thick. And Talik is standing in the center of this. And as the camera pans around behind Talik, a figure is standing in front of him that was not there just a moment ago before we passed around him. It's a middle-aged man. He seems to be a human, except there's something off about him. He has very reptilian features, scales and horns kind of line and rim the outside of his face, and there's a green tinge to him. He wears a black cloak with green trim. He's got just kind of this wicked sneer that seems to be just plastered across his face. He stands there for a moment. Talik, do you say anything?
No, I think I just stare at him.
He opens his mouth and speaks. He says, well, Talik. I'm sure you didn't expect to see me here. Probably thinking you might see someone a little more green, perhaps? You know, when I gave her that ring, that was intended to be given to you. Of course, I wanted her to give it to you while she was still alive. But someone, and he stares deep into your heart, had to go and make that cut short.
You're my real father, huh?
Yes, son, I am. Pleasure to formally meet you. Our last engagement was a bit tense, wasn't it?
Who are you? And how did you get involved with my mother?
My story is far too long for the time that you have in this moment. But someday, we will meet in the flesh and can discuss it all. Is all you need to know is that you are a success. And the power locked within you is just beginning to blossom. And he smiles, this time not a wicked smile, but like a awkward, proud smile. He says, but for now, your time is short. Let's pull out of this for just a moment. What are you guys doing around the corpse? We go back to Pomerel with his sword plunged into the heart.
Pomerel ever so gently retrieves his sword, wipes the blood off, stands up, takes 3 large steps back, and resumes a kneeling position.
I pull out of my pack a gem, a diamond. Specifically a diamond worth 1,000 gold because it's the only diamond that I have.
A little bit overkill, right?
Yep. You can see Ilirlock's eyes kind of wide, a little bit in shock. This is not something he's ever had to do before. He's kind of got watery eyes. He's kind of just going to get close to Talik as Talik's corpse kind of hangs there in the bindings against the tree.
Yeah, the blood is kind of like stopped seeping out at this point. It's just soaked the whole front of his chest.
And I take the diamond and hold it in both of my hands, and I press it with both hands into the chest where he was given his fatal blow. And I beseech any higher power that hears me. Ideally, I try to reach out to Tamora.
Do you happen to know what your coin was for today?
I do know what it was, actually, last time we played.
Okay, what was it?
It was Tails.
Okay, continue.
I beseech any and all deity that would hear our collective plea to ferry Talik's spirit back into this body, pure and free of any curse.
You feel this cooling sensation cover your whole body, like you've just dipped yourself in mint oil. Your whole body just goes numb, and a silver glow shines out from where the diamond was, and it gets super bright to the point that you can't even see. In fact, everything just kind of whites out, and we go back to Talik standing in front of this mysterious man. In the space that y'all are in now, Talik, a light shines from behind the man, and 2 archways appear on either side of him, just kind of set there in nothingness. Through one of them is just a bright shine, and then through the other one, you can't see much. It's very foggy and wavy, but you hear almost like a lapping of water, like a lake lapping up against the side. The man standing in front of you says, "Like I said, it's about that time. What's going to be your choice? Do you want to see where your potential will take you? Or do you want to call it quits right now?"
Which side is my mother's spirit in?
That ring was meant for you, like I said, my boy. But she decided that she wasn't ready to leave you behind. So she waits with you. What would have happened were you still wearing it? When you took this mercy? I can't quite say. That's beyond my skills and knowledge, I'm afraid. But, as it were, you seem to have friends. You better hurry. Time's running out.
Yeah, I guess I do. And I'll walk over towards their archway back to the land of the living.
Right before you get to it, he says, "Oh, and Talik, about that little sword of yours. Best just leave that behind, I think, as a bad memory."
And I'll walk through.
As you walk through, the hole in Talik's chest is sealed back with this blinding light as it fades out of Alirlock and Pomerel and Bodynock's eyes. You can see where the cut in his armor is, that the wound is sealed back up, and Talik gasps back to life.
Look,
Ha! You people on the material plane and your plans, y'all are crazy. That was exciting.
So how long did all of that take? That was, just a few moments, right?
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, I think it was moments.
Revivify's got to be within a minute.
it's very quick.
Talik, with the words of your father echoing in your mind to leave the sword behind, it's all you can think about as you come back to life. You look down, you're not even sure exactly what has happened, why you died. Like, you remember fighting these guys and there was a tussle and you were tied up, and then you realize you're still tied up. But the only thing on your mind right now is you just want to know where it is. You really need to know where it is and what's happening with it right now.
I'll come to and look down at the wound sealing up in my chest, and I look at Alirlock leaning over me and Pomerel, and I go, "Well, what the hell did you do that for?"
Pomerel just ignores him and stands up, and he goes and he stands awkwardly close to him as he reaches a hand down and puts it near his clavicle, like you would almost think for checking a pulse, but not quite checking a pulse, and pumps 50 HP into Talik.
Oh,
Pump me, daddy.
Pumps 50 HP into Talik, and he says, Whether you're not, you're cured. No one deserves to lay here in this pitiful state.
How are you feeling? Like, how are you feeling right now?
Feel okay. A little weird. I just died, but I think I feel okay. I am curious what's going on with the sword. Do you think those ogres are fucking with it?
What if they are?
I mean, I don't know. We should just go get it, right? And keep going.
There's better swords out there. What do you remember of the last, I don't know, hour and a half?
I remember dimension dooring up out of the hole next to you guys, and then we killed them, and then I threw the sword, or I was gonna throw the sword in the moat, and then y'all knocked me out. I don't know. It's all kind of blurry.
Well, see, we did some things to get the sword away from you because you wouldn't let go of the sword. The sword is gone forever. But, with that in mind, you're here, so that's positive. You can have my sword if you'd like, but that sword of yours that hated you so and wanted nothing but death and destruction for you and all that you love is gone.
You're not sure if you believe him when he says that the sword is gone forever. It's like if you're in the stages of grief, you're definitely in denial that it could possibly be gone. Like, you know how strong the sword is, you know how strong your connection to it is, and so that seems very hard to accept or believe.
No, I think the sword's probably still there.
You do know that the sword is evil incarnate, right?
Well, it had an evil master, and that's like this whole thing that we're doing. We've got to go plunge it into that old master, and then it's not the sword itself that's evil.
I'm gonna start filling that sock back up with coins.
You just hear tink, tink.
Just staring at me while he does
just
it.
staring at him, head cocked to the side, sausage hanging out of his mouth.
Oh my god.
Talik, you seem like a wise fellow, as the amount of time I've had to get to know you is allowed, but I'm afraid you're mistaken.
No, Learlock, tell him that I'm not very wise. Tell him,
Wise.
Learlock.
If you're not wise, then allow yourself to hear some wisdom. The sword itself has an entity inside of it that I have detected, as has a Learlock, and it is wholly evil.
Again, you're not sure if you believe what he's saying, and it's not so much that you think that he's wrong. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of like a dysfunctional relationship. You're like, no, I can save him. I can save it.
Right.
There's good in it. And whether or not you're right, I mean, I don't know, but
Well, I know this. I'm not who I was before you guys knocked me out. I feel like I'm in control. I just think that we should go get the sword. It can help us on the mission. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Y'all can untie me. This is ridiculous.
You do realize that to keep you from continuing to abuse yourself in your bloodlust for the sword, we killed you. I plunged my sword into your heart. And your friend Alirlock here spent what appeared to be a glorious diamond in an effort to give your spirit the opportunity to return. We didn't just tie you up. You died.
Yeah, dude, I watched it all. It's pretty freaky.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know.
Can I tell if he's telling us the truth about how he feels?
sure, yeah. Make me a insight check.
Oh, good. Natural 1 for a total of 8.
Mm.
You're not certain. He seems genuine, but yeah.
Alirlock, tell him the sword's evil.
Remember what happened when I attempted to remove the curse on the sword? And then the other time where I helped you with your furry problem,
Yeah, the
and the
werewolf
sword
thing.
got real upset.
Yeah.
Those spells, those incantations are intended to remove an inflicted status of someone's being, uh, something that is negative to their existence. And the sword didn't like either one of those because it is an affliction that you are experiencing, whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. We've come this far. I, I mean, you tell me. What do you think we should do?
If it were me, you'd get the hell out of here without the sword.
Pomerol says, I think we should do to you the same thing we do to the elves back home who get to, what should we say, obsessed with the wine. We tie you to the back of a horse for 3 days.
I don't know about that.
Go back to town and get some sausages.
Just have a sausage detox.
One might call it a sausage fest.
Oh, I was thinking like a juice cleanse, a sausage cleanse.
Oh my.
Alirlock, the ring. I gave you the ring. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Can I have it back?
Persuade me.
It's important. I think it'll help me make this decision or something. Just please, if you trust me this once, slip it on my finger if you can.
All right. Before I do, I'll take your hand off if you go to pick up that sword.
I'll just kind of chuckle and wink at him and say, I'd like to see you try, ears.
All right. I'll put it on Tog's whatever finger he extends.
Just imagine him like kind of sticking his hand out in a weird way out from under the ropes. Like, right there.
Yeah. When he slips the ring on my finger, do I feel anything? Any kind of energy or presence or anything?
You feel a little bit of a familiar calmness. You know, I mean, just like a piece of jewelry that you wear all the time in normal life, it's very nice to put something like that back on. So you feel that, but it's extra. It's more than that. It's more than what you get when you put on your favorite armor and everything else.
Can y'all just give me just a few feet? Can y'all back up a little bit? I'm tied to the freaking tree.
Pomerol just has this weird shit-eating grin on his face, and he just stands there looking down at Dalek. I don't think you understand. You were trying to do things to us. We're worried about you.
All right, fine. And I'll close my eyes. Like, fine, I'll just do it in front of you guys. Whatever.
I can't do it
I'm
if you're
gonna
watching.
whisper as quietly as I can and go, Mother, can you hear me? Please give me a sign. Give me something.
You don't hear anything at first, but then you feel a little warmth come from the ring into your hand, and it just kind of like washes over you like a gentle peace. It's very calming.
Okay. All right. I'm going to trust you. I'll probably die soon without the sword. Obviously, because it was what was making me so strong. But I will trust you to a degree, and I will not walk towards the sword.
Pomerol just takes one step back, and he goes to just slash all the ropes, and then stops. And he looks over at Body Knock, and he goes, "You probably don't want these cut, do you?"
Oh no, his 50-foot rope.
50-foot of rope.
Well, I'll let you untie it.
All right, I'll untie the rope.
Okay. With a deft hand, I'm sure you'd get another 25 and a roll or two. So we'll say that you slip it loose and it just falls off of Talik.
I'll just kind of walk past the other guys, and I'm just kind of scowling, maybe hanging my head a little bit. I feel like dejected, like a failure a little bit, and I'll just walk towards the horses. I'm not fucking leading this charge anymore, so somebody else figure out where we're going, and I'll climb up on Revenge.
Pomerel says, "Well, after knowing you, I would love to see your homeland."
I'm not so sure you would.
I can only imagine what fun we would have. Pomerel's getting gleeful in a strange way.
Clear log, body knock, come on, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here before I change my mind.
Onward, Jeffrey.
All right.
All right.
Pomerel kind of stands there and kicks some dust around. He's like, my horse is gone.
Oh no.
Bring him back.
I will. I'm a little too tired right at the moment.
Are you serious?
Yes, very.
Come on, you're gonna have to ride with somebody else.
So Pomerel goes over and tries to get on the back of Jeffrey, not understanding that the dogs might not be able to handle a full-grown
Jeffrey,
elf.
old boy, you
heavy
can handle
armor.
it. You can do this, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey just like takes one troubled step at a time. He's just like, y'all going like half the speed you'd be going if y'all were just walking.
Talik goes, well, this is a sign. Let's go back and get the sword. Things are already going bad.
You're a very funny man. And he just gets up and starts walking with a 40-foot walking speed. He actually makes pretty good stride.
He's as fast as Jeffrey.
Oh
So y'all
my. Elf bounding through the woods.
Yeah. So he's just striding next to Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So where are you guys going? What's going on? What are y'all doing? Which way do you head?
What time of day is it?
It is 2 p.m.
Yeah, we got there midday, so it's mid-afternoon. Early afternoon.
Pomerel really wants somewhere to take off his armor that's covered in undead zombie goo and take a nap.
I reckon we need to make camp at some point to recover.
Talik's not making any decisions. He's drying out.
The map that I'm looking at right now can't see north or east of where we are. Is that the only map we have access to?
That's the map that was sent to you guys by Bushi.
Okay.
A long time ago. Y'all might have like a continent map of the whole continent, like the one that I've sent you guys before.
We're going to have to make camp here because we don't know where we're going and I'm about to collapse.
All right, then.
Okay. So after about an hour or so, you guys look over. Tears just start running down Talik's face. Just a stream of them. As he has this realization and moment and feeling like he has just lost his absolute best friend in the whole wide world. It's just like a wave of emotion passes over him.
Oh, look. Are you all right?
Yeah. I'm fine.
I don't really get that close. I keep a little bit of a distance still. When you say you're fine, what does that mean to you?
I'm fine. Everything's fine. Let's just take our rest and go.
Has the ring helped you at all?
I think I like rub it with my thumb, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, you guys can take your long rest.
Okay.
Hallelujah!
Whew!
I'm removing this thing from my inventory.
Take it out of your inventory.
So much RP.
The long sword of Pallid Light. I know we need to kill something. Oh, it's not the Bone Club. That's your weapon. I have Big Bone.
Big Bone Daddy.
You said that. I was like, okay. Maybe he means the other thing.
No, Big Bone.
Big Bone Daddy and the long sword of Phallus Light.
That's Tolik's porn parody. Tolik, man, he's hard to kill.
I just have to commend you, Seth.
What'd I do?
Your usage of the words cock and sausage in the same sentence, but not referring to a penis, is impressive.
Wait, what? What was the quote?
Oh man, I was trying so hard not to lose it. I
You said he's got a sausage hanging out of his mouth.
Cocks his head to the
Ah,
side with the
oh.
sausage hanging out of his mouth.
Oh, it was so smooth. It was like I was envisioning like a Guy Ritchie scene.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So as soon as everybody wakes up in the morning, they just see Pomerel semi-floating, cross-legged, naked in the dirt as he's going through going through some kind of ritual where he's swirling his hands around and bringing them together and making big wide gestures and bringing them back together in front of his face and going up above his head and
Oh, like a Doctor
back
Strange
wide.
style spell.
And then as he does that, some threadling lights begin to weave in front of him. And after about 10 minutes, Sunbeam is reborn.
I didn't want to interrupt that beautiful description. While he's doing that and we're waking up, I walk over to Alirlock and I'm like, yeah, you see how he's sitting in the dirt like that, naked? Yeah, I had a friend, Gorok. He got worms that way.
I
Oh,
knew it. I
God.
knew that's what you were going to say. Damn it. And about that time, you hear, "You sorry son of a bitch. You let me die."
Oh gosh, I'm so grateful that this iteration of your voice is not nearly as pompous or pathetic as the last one.
Well, maybe if you wouldn't let me die, I'd still have my beautiful, illustrious voice.
I dig
God
that.
be damned. I
Hey
swear.
everybody, Sunbeam's back and he's a tough man horse this time.
Oh, and fuck all you, especially you, big green asshole. Why were we even in that pit in the first place? Please tell me that worthless piece of shit
I don't
is
think
gone.
we can even hear him, can we?
Tolik, Sunbeam is very glad that you're okay.
Oh, yeah, tell him you too.
Yeah, he understands. Pomerel's just looking at Sunbeam and he's going, you know, it's been quite a while since I killed one of the Sunbeams, but
he's like what's that movie with the bad clones, or they like all come out like just a little off, or is that Rick and Morty?
I don't know.
God, that sounds
Oh
like
yeah,
Rick and Morty.
yeah. There's a Rick and Morty skit where they do that. They keep killing them until they come out. Right?
Sunbeam is snorting like he wishes it was breathing fire at Tolik. He's just like,
Sunbeam seems to be very miffed at you, Tolik. What did you do to him down in that moat?
I just wink.
Oh, I see. Well, Pomerel stands up and caresses Sunbeam's snout and says, I'm so glad you're back, dear friend. These savages were making me walk on my own feet.
he settles a little bit. Well, you don't got to worry about that. My strong back can carry 2 or 3 of you.
I love this one.
I know.
Sunbeam is amazing.
I know.
We getting out of this hellscape. I'm ready to get some lush grass.
I believe that is the plan. As Pomerel walks over to Talik and Alirlock, and as he gets over there and he stands there with his signature hands on his hip motion, he looks
Does he have
down.
clothes on yet?
He
Nope.
looks down and he looks back and he looks at Alirlock's face. And what is Alirlock's face right now?
Lyrlock's face is very uncomfy. Very uncomfy
Pomerel's
with what's
canceled.
currently happening.
Pomerel says, "Oh, my apologies. I sometimes forget about you material plane folks." And he walks back and he dons his armor.
Talik had his hand reared back to slap his wiener.
What the fuck? If he got too close, that's the
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the absolute go-to. Somebody tries to do some weird dominance establishment in a locker room setting, they get too close and they do the whole prop up thing on the.
This seems like you're
Bitch.
speaking from experience.
That's what I was about to say.
You just stare that thing down. You refuse to make eye contact. Make eye contact with one eye and one eye only, and refuse to look away.
Oh God!
They will back down.
My God!
They cover themselves.
It reminds me of the puffed up scene in Dodgeball, where White Goodman has the puffed up crotch and just keeps pushing it closer and closer to the poor lass.
Oh my god.
WHIT.
Oh
E-
man.
E.
Okay. So Pomerel dons his armor and he goes,
You
"Okay,
take the bull by the
gentlemen,
horns.
where are we headed? Where's your homeland from here, Talik?"
What? We're not going to my homeland. We're going to kill the fucking monkey guy. I already told y'all I'm not helping do anything. I'm just along for the ride.
What? Where's the monkey guy?
Ask Alirlock.
Alirlock? Where's the monkey guy?
Now make a memory check.
Yeah. I'll give you guys the information that you would definitely recall when you guys were in the Rising Sun Tower. Y'all found Zaius's notes. It seemed to indicate that he was headed to a place called the Temple of Husin, which y'all did a little bit of correspondence with Bushi to find out that that's some sort of forgotten monkey god that's all the way in Asajiski. General geography knowledge would tell you that Asajiski runs a good portion of the whole east side of this continent. There's a really rough, rugged mountain range that kind of isolates it from the rest of the continent, but it flattens out and it's actually very easy to pass on the north side of the continent, which happens to be where you guys are. So that's kind of the general overview of what you know about where you believe what's his name to be. That said, y'all crossed paths of the migration way back. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 hexes east. So about 200 miles east and a little bit south of you guys is where y'all crossed paths. It was headed northwest to southeast, and that's the last trail y'all had of it. Y'all just crossed it and went straight to the water.
The migration trail is approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 hexes due south of us, assuming they maintain that current path.
Be like 5 hexes due south of you, assuming they figured out a way around that
Finger of water.
Yeah, that comes in. I don't know what that's called when there's like a fingers of water looching up into a
Inlet.
yeah, or a sound. Is it a sound?
No sounding. It's an inlet.
Sounding's a totally different thing.
It's an inlet.
An inlet. So yeah, assuming they found a way across or around that inlet, you don't know how that would have affected their path because they were basically headed straight towards that on your map.
Okay. Can we tell on the map if that space that is 1, 2, 3 hexes southeast of our current location is actually a break in the water or not?
Yeah, I mean it appears to be over 30 miles wide of a space that should be a break in the water where you could cross on land. Because y'all are kind of on a big peninsula, really, is what y'all are on. And that appears to be the connecting little neck that would take you back to the mainland.
Okay, so Pomerel's gonna point and go, "Well, what's this place? Pockrights."
Pocorit.
That's Pokerit.
Oh, okay, Pockrights, Pokerit, same thing. What's that?
Y'all can make me a history check on Pocorit if you would like.
Pomerel make it with disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, since he's not from the material plane. Yeah, I think that's fair.
7.
That's not great.
11.
That's not great either.
21.
21.
That makes sense.
Body Knock, being the well-traveled man that he is, knows that Pocorit is the capital and, let's be honest, kind of the last remaining, almost a city-state, of what was once Romsperity, which is also where the Rotwood is now. And so that's kind of their holdout. It's known to be a fairly prosperous place, but it is still so close to the Rotwood that it's not exactly a tourist destination. But yeah, I mean, you know that they would definitely have any and all supplies or anything that you might need. It's a pretty big city.
Well, hey, maybe we should go there and get Talik a new sword, or maybe an axe. Would you like a great big axe, Talik?
No, I don't want any of that, and I have Big Bone over my shoulder.
You tap it, just kind of boom, 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 with its thunderousness.
What do you think, Buddy Knock? Is there any reason we should go somewhere else? I'd like to see this place if we don't know where to go.
Yeah, might as well, see what's what, see if anybody needs anything. Maybe there's some money to be made. Get his mind off this long sword of phallus delight.
Oh my god, that was perfect. Long sort of fast.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go to Pokerit.
Pokerit.
Pocorit. Why is that so hard?
It's
Like a
not
pogo
hard
stick.
It's not hard for Seth.
It's not hard for Joey.
Oh, y'all are being in
role
character
playing.
assholes. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Who's not being an asshole? I have a character development thing.
Isn't there a song that's
working on
like
here.
a disco stick? or
Yes,
something?
God.
yes, there is.
Take a ride.
Wanna
on your
take you
disco
for a ride for
stick.
my disco stick? Yeah,
Yep.
what the hell?
Right. I think it's Kesha.
Yeah, no, it's older than Kesha.
No, I don't think so. What would you even search? Disco stick
Take
song?
you want to take a ride on my disco stick?
Oh, Lady Gaga.
It's Lady Gaga. Love
Lady
game.
Gaga.
Wow,
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
It's Lady Gaga.
Mm.
That's what
Mm.
he says on The Hangover. One of the
Hmm.
Hangover movies. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Okay, well, if y'all are continuing on your hexagon crawl, then I'm going to need a hexagon roll.
Hexagon
What
Crawlagon.
about a dodecahedron roll?
Even better.
Yes, that's what I
He's
need.
speechless.
I'm so pleased by it. Also, I don't think that's right, though.
Pleased.
Isn't a dodecahedron the D12?
Is it?
I think
I don't
so.
know.
Oh my
I don't-
gosh.
Dodecahedron's the D12. I'm
Oh, it
sorry.
does have 12.
Pomerel rolled perception and got a 22.
But a D20 is a true icosagon. No, that's not right. No. Why is it saying icosagon? That's not right. Icosahedron. Icosagon is a two-dimensional shape with 20 sides. Oh, icosahedron. That's what we wanted.
Is it Icos or Icos?
Oh, probably icosahedron. All right, y'all doing Persephis. I assume that Pomerel will feed everyone tonight.
Giuseppe.
Persepi,
Mhm.
you're Giuseppe.
Nat
17.
20.
Oh, for a 19.
What's your
that's
total?
So tough.
With your nat 20. Wow, y'all rolled mother thumping rocks.
We're alert and ready now that we've got rid of this stupid longsword of phallus delight.
Longsword of Phallus the Light is so bonkers.
A real shame that wasn't already in play way earlier.
No, I think it's appropriate that as you shed it. Are y'all ready for my favorite part of the game? Y'all ready for the weather?
Yeah.
It is a cool day, which it's been cool up here this far north. So it's about 45 degrees for the high, and the wind is pretty strong, but no rain. So there's just this cutting wind kind of cutting in and out of the fog of this perpetually dreary place, but it's not
Fantastic.
actively precipitating on you.
Favorite part of the game.
That's a testament to your game.
Y'all all rolled such rocks, baby.
Rocks, baby.
Did any of you, two of you beat a 22? My God.
And I rolled a nat 20 and got one of the lowest ones.
As you guys are walking along,
That's so bad.
you spot through the woods, through the trees, what appears to be a humanoid body. But with y'all's high perception, 22, 23, you notice that it's actually a skeleton. And it's just kind of sitting on a log, leaned forward a little bit. Y'all are looking at his back. He's got some rags kind of hanging off of him. And out from him extends this fishing pole. And a line goes from the fishing pole down into the water.
Pomerel just rides Sunbeam over to it.
The skeleton doesn't move, but then the pole bends and the string tightens, and he pulls up on the rod and leans his whole body back and starts to reel with a bony hand. And he pulls out this fish hanging from the rod, but the fish is also entirely bones. And it's hanging off of this hook. The skeleton pulls it in, unhooks it, throws it back in the water, and then tosses the bare hook back into the water and resumes his position.
Oh my.
Pomerel just kind of looks down at this whole thing playing out from Sunbeam and is just like, huh. What a strange place the material plane is. And then he rides back over to the trail and goes, there's something weird going on over there, guys. Did y'all see that guy? The skeleton and the fish and the skeleton dead fish? And did you see all
Pomerel
that?
and Body Knox were good enough to see him from a distance, but yeah, I assume once you go over there, everybody would know.
Yeah, I'd leave that where it lies, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Just pretend you didn't see it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, no more skeletons.
Okay, so y'all leave the skeletal fisherman and continue on your way. Are you casting the water walk ritual to keep y'all from having difficult terrain?
We did not discuss that on this day, but I can the next day.
I am perfectly fine if you want to be doing that. We had established that you were doing that every day before. It is up to you. It's just a ritual, so I'm really fine with it.
IRL, it's been like a long time, and I definitely forgot that was a thing. So in character, I would not have forgotten that. So
Oh no, about 5 minutes of tromping through the mud, and you'd be like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
yeah, so I will be doing just that.
Okay. And which hex are y'all headed into? I actually didn't.
This one.
Okay. South and Lewis. So y'all can make it 2 hexes in one day if you're casting the water walk. That's why I was curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think we would go to this one next.
Okay. All right. So y'all travel through those 2 hexes, and other than that strange fishing skeleton, it's a pretty boring day. There's not really much that happens. It's windy all day, and y'all make it to the evening time, ready to set up camp. What are you guys doing at camp?
Pomerel will cast Create Food and Water.
I don't have anything I want to do in particular.
I'm going to peruse my bag and pull out the Thane Udnavik Magical Frost Axe head,
Oh my god.
Yes.
and I'm going to ponder
Hey, dude, when I-
who I can pawn this thing off to while we're
Mm.
in a city.
Gotcha. Like, who am I gonna sell? Do I sell it to a collector, to a blacksmith?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Body Knock. You know anybody who might want to buy this?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of Leech.
You get your fence involved. So as you
Yeah.
guys are looking over this axe, we're gonna roll over y'all's really high perception checks from earlier, because you guys spot about 80 feet away a figure with this big, just kind of burlap sack hanging over their shoulders and arms. They've got these weird, big, flat, gray feet that's just barely at the edge of the campfire light and the torchlight. They're kind of, the moon is shining down on them. At first, you can't really make out what's going on, and they're just slowly shuffling towards you. And then they raise their head and arms up just a little bit. This one figure, and you see these long, gangly arms. They're thin to the bone. And as they raise their head up and the moonlight casts across their face, you see that they've got this misformed, elongated face with this gray, fleshy skin. And where their eyes should be are these deep, hollow, black sockets. And where their nose and mouth should be is this long, empty, gaping void. They let out a moan. And as they do that, 3 shadows in night's clothing rise up out of the ground next to them. And we'll see you next week.
Oh my.
Wow.
Woohoo!
There's a picture of the creature that you see.
awesome description.
Spoopy.
You spooked me out.
I hate that a lot.
Oh, let me see.
I hate that a lot.
It's in the
So
dummies
I'm
channel.
gonna go back and go fishing with the skeleton.
Yeah, you like the skeleton now? He's better.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man, you described it perfect. That's what I was picturing.
Good.
Epic
Oh,
stuff. That
man.
was fun, guys. Wow.
What a crazy session. Barely rolled any dice, like full roleplay action.
Yeah, that was intense.
Whew.
I was coming to terms with Talik's death, but I'm also good for him to hang around a little longer. See what happens.
Yeah, a little development out of him through the whole process, which is fun.
Hey, just let me know if you get bored. I got a coin sock.
Oh my, it's an
yes.
entertainment now.
Coin suck. No, he's gonna smack me with it.
Yeah, but he said let me know if you get bored.
Oh, okay.
We are into that.
That's yeah, somebody's
That's true.
Well,
It's a
I meant
different
like
kind of-
if you wanted a new character, I'd just beat the shit out of you till you die.
Oh,
Oh.
it's a different kind of game now.
Oh, wow.
My God.
All right, I'm going to bed. Good night, guys.
Oh, good night.
Good night.
Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us.
Well, wait, hold on. I need to ask you, how do celebrities stay cool?
I don't even have a guess.
They have many fans. Also, how did Darth Vader know what Luke got him for Christmas?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm already excited that it's a Star Wars themed one.
He felt his presence.
That's gross. I don't like that one.
Gross.
I don't like the words feeling presence. That just sounds weird. Okay,